Hello, my quilty friends. It's Stacy of Stacy Creates Stuff, bringing you block 7 of my Block of the Week series, Patching the Hole in the Barn Door. Each week, I bring you a new block as part of my 12-block series, Patching the Hole in the Front Door, and each block comes with a poem. So, let's read this week's poem to reveal this week's block. He was dressed in his Sunday best, shined shoes, a coat, and we cannot lie. It was the largest they'd ever seen. Mr. Farmer's great big bow tie. Not only is this a bow tie block, it is dimensional. And it's simple to make. So let's get started. The fabric for this week's block is blue and pink from my rainbow assortment. And this block is pretty simple. It only involves 5 squares, which we're somehow going to make into a 4-patch. It's a little bit of magic. So from my bow tie fabric, I am going to cut 3 3.5-inch squares. You, of course, could cut one long strip and then cut your 3-inch squares off of that, or 3.5-inch squares. But I didn't really have a strip. I didn't want to cut one long strip off of the longest edge of my fabric, so I'm going to do it this way. Remember, this is a scrap-friendly quilt, so you can use what you have. All right, there are my 3 squares. Set those aside for a moment. And from my pink fabric, I'm going to cut 2 3.5-inch squares. All right, one of our bow tie squares, we are going to fold in half, wrong sides together so that you can see the bow tie fabric. And I'm going to go ahead and press my folded square. Now we're going to take one of the bow tie squares. We're going to sandwich our folded piece. So you can see that here with the fold at the top. All the raw edges are along the bottom here. And then I'm going to take essentially a background square, background of this block, and with right sides together of my large squares there, I'm then going to go and sew this down the edge. Don't sew these together yet. We're just going to sew this one. Here is my sewn first part. And you can see it's a little bit like a book, that this is flapping like that. But I'm going to bring the squares out of the way so I have just the folded over piece. And I'm going to sandwich that again with the blue facing. It should be the same fabric. The bow tie fabric should be facing up with the folded bow tie fabric. And you should still see the other square of bow tie. So a lot of, in my case, blue. I'm going to take my background, put that face down, right side down. And now I'm going to sew along this edge. Be right back. And here is the odd looking thing that I have sewn together. Now, how the heck is this going to become a bow tie? It's kind of magic. So double check at this point, though, that with the squares folded away from the folded piece, that you have a bow tie on one side and a background on the other. That is key. All right, now we are going to take as if it was a regular old 4-patch, but before we just push it together, we want to take our folded little piece here and we're going to open it up. Now it's not going to open neatly. It's going to be kind of making a crazy mess there, and that is fine. That's perfect. We just want to grab the edges there, and then a little finagling around. I'm going to pin that in place there. You can use a clip. I just don't have a clip handy. And then the same on this side. I'm making sure that I am catching the little folded piece in between. Line up all those edges. Pin that or clip it. And then you're going to take it to the sewing machine and sew that. I might adjust that just a smidge more. Line that up there when I get to the machine. All right, I'm going to sew right along those edges, making sure that I'm catching that folded rectangle in between. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I have sewn all along the edge, catching that rectangle in between. Are you ready for the magic? Ta-da! It's a 3D bow tie, and it is secure on all the seams. And now you can very carefully give it a good press. I'm going to press from the back to start. And I nested my seams, so I'm able to open those up and press them in a windmill kind of way. Let me press these. And there we have it, our finished block, all set and awaiting for the rest of them. If this is the first that you have come across this series, have no fear. The previous videos are already up on the channel and new ones come out each week. You can have the instructions for all the blocks delivered right to your inbox by signing up for my email list. The link is in the description below. All right, this was a quick and easy week. Whew, we needed it after that drunkard's path last week. I hope everything is going great and that you've had plenty of stitchy time in the last week. And I'm looking forward to moving on with next week's block. I will see you then. Bye.